So we're going to talk about molting hens, and the first thing you might notice is that your hen doesn't look quite right. She might be a little bit more of a loner, reclusive, not want to be touched, and then you look at her and she's like this one, her comb is all shriveled up and it's pale. They just don't look the same, they don't feel right. And it's normal for chickens to molt once a year, and when they do, they don't really feel good. They're not going to really lay at all to speak of generally. And then you'll notice their feathers. She has no tail feathers. You might touch them and the feathers will fall right out, which she's not doing that, of course, but she's just started to molt, this one. But a lot of times you'll pick them up and the feathers will just fall off in piles, and that's normal. And if your hen is molting more than once a year, there's probably another problem. There's something that's really stressing them out, like bugs, diet. It could be anything, but they shouldn't be molting more than once a year. If you have a bird repeatedly molting, something else is going on that you need to figure out what it is, because they're stressed. So on this hen, you can see her comb is shriveled even and pale, and that's normal for a molting hen. And then, of course, she has no tail feathers, but you can also look at her feathers in there, they're falling out, and see there's short ones growing back in. And they just kind of look scraggly. And some of them you'll see, you can tell it's very obvious that like their feathers, they just look really scruffy because half their feathers are missing. So I have another hen that's molting we can look at also. When you're looking at these two hens, my buff Orpington here has got a very pale comb, as you can see. And then this other hen who's not been molting, you can see is bright red, my speckled Sussex. And so that's another thing that is very normal with a molting chicken. And she's just not happy to be handled at all. I think it's like a toddler teething. They're just not comfortable. And she's actually, I think, nearing the end of her molt, because if you look, her tail feathers are growing in pretty good. They're still a little bit short, but if you look, you can see the short feathers coming in the middle still. She's growing in. She's not happy. And she is normally very friendly. She comes up to be picked up and pet. She loves to be held and attention, and she's just been reclusive, hiding in the back of the coop. And hens can take anywhere on average between 1 and 2.5 months, but really the range is 3 to 16 weeks. So they're all different. To help them, extra protein is good. Don't do things that would stress them out. Helps. But pretty much they just need to do their molt, and just it depends on the bird how long it's going to take. And when they act like this and you see these things, just know it's normal. So good ways to get your molting birds extra protein. The first choice would be, there's actually a feed that has a little bit higher protein called Feather Fixer. And your normal layer feed is 16% protein. Feather Fixer is 18% protein. And then you have your flock raiser for growing all types of birds. That's 20% protein. But you can also use eggs, meat, mealworms, anything that's a protein. Just watch your salt intake, of course. So those are some things that will help your molting birds recover faster.